Q4091. Which condition would cause the altimeter to indicate a lower altitude than actually flown? True altitude? A. Air temperature lower than standard. B. Atmospheric pressure lower than standard. C. Air temperature warmer than standard. The correct answer is C. The gap between true and indicated altitude can be as large as 2,000 feet as a result of effects from abnormal circumstances. The altimeter will show a lower height than the one that was really flown, true altitude, on a warm day since the pressure levels are elevated. 4109. Under what condition will true altitude be lower than indicated altitude with an altimeter setting of 29.92 inches of Hg? A. Ln warmer than standard air temperature. B. Ln colder than standard air temperature. C. When density altitude is higher than indicated altitude. The correct answer is B. To understand this, let's consider how temperature affects the altimeter reading. The altimeter measures altitude based on the atmospheric pressure, assuming a standard temperature lapse rate. According to the standard atmosphere model, as altitude increases, the temperature normally decreases at a certain rate. However, if the air temperature is colder than the standard temperature for a given altitude, the altimeter will indicate a higher altitude than the aircraft's true altitude. This occurs because the colder air is denser than the standard atmosphere, causing an increase in pressure relative to the altimeter setting. Consequently, when the air temperature is colder than standard, the altimeter will indicate a higher altitude than the true altitude. 4111. Altimeter setting is the value to which the scale of the pressure altimeter is set, so the altimeter indicates A. True altitude at field elevation. B. Pressure altitude at field elevation. C. Pressure altitude at sea level. The correct answer is A. You may set the altimeter to read genuine altitude at a specific height because the altitude scale is adjustable. The most important parts of a flight are takeoff and landing, hence the ideal altitude for an accurate reading of the altimeter is airport elevation. The pressure altimeter scale is adjusted to a certain value in the altimeter setting, which causes the altimeter to display correct altitude at the field elevation. 4477. Below 18,000 feet, pressure altitude may be obtained by A. Setting the altimeter to 29.92 inches of Hg. B. Setting the altimeter to the local altimeter setting. C. Requesting the current pressure altitude for the area. The correct answer is A. Whether in flight or on the ground, pressure altitude may always be obtained via the altimeter. The altimeter will display pressure altitude when set to the default altimeter value of 29.92 inches. 4478. How can you determine the pressure altitude on an airport without a tower or FSS? A. Set the altimeter to 29.92 inches of Hg and read the altitude indicated. B. Set the altimeter to the current altimeter setting of a station within 100 miles and correct this indicated altitude with local temperature. C. Use your computer and correct the field elevation for temperature. The correct answer is A. Whether in the light or on the ground, the altimeter may always be used to calculate pressure height. Set the altimeter to its default setting of 29.92 inches, and it will display pressure and altitude.